Hello everyone, I hope you guys are all having a fabulous Monday. Today I'm coming at you with our weekly Minks Monday Q&A. And before we get started, let me share the bag that I'm currently using. That is the Louis Vuitton Neverfull MM in the monogram canvas. Alright, so let's get started with the very first question, shall we? Anusha S. What are you planning to get in London to take advantage of the cheaper cost? P.S. You can order Louis Vuitton in advance at Heathrow Terminal 5 and pick it up tax-free on your way back to the U.S. Thank you so much for that tip. Great question. I think that the main thing that I'm hoping to get while we're there for me is the Louis Vuitton Speedy 30 Damier Ben, as I told you guys last week, because, you know, obviously the price is going to be a lot better in London versus here, plus there's a better chance of me being able to find one made in France. So I'm hoping I could hold out until then. I know that my hubby and I were both looking at possibly Burberry scarves and maybe some coats, Ted Baker, and the only other one that I know I'm really interested in is Doc Martens. Now, I don't know if the price is going to be too big of a difference between London and the States, especially because since they're so heavy, it might be, you know, added weight that I don't want to add to my luggage. So I might just be cheaper to get them here, but I'm so excited to just to experience London and see what they have to offer. And I'm just, yeah, I know I'm over the moon. I cannot wait to get there. I know my hubby's the same way. And of course, we are hoping we can find some teas that we cannot find here in the US. So I am excited. It cannot come any sooner. So if you guys have any other tips, something that we absolutely have to try out, please let me know in the comment section down below, because, you know, any information that you can give us would be much appreciated. Next question from NLFO. Do you think it's considered tacky to check the exchange rates when purchasing luxury goods? I'm from New Zealand, and when I travel to the US or anywhere else overseas, I like to check what the current price is for an item. Do you think if you wanted to purchase an item enough, the price shouldn't matter? Okay, so do I think it's tacky? Not at all. I do it all the time, especially right before I go. While I'm there, I always check it. And I think being able to buy a luxury good when you're traveling overseas, I think it's an added bonus because you're already, you know, you're already spending money on the trip to get there and you're seeing the sights and whatnot. And I think that it's really imperative because, as I kind of said before with the whole Doc Marten thing, you have to take into consideration if it's even worth the hassle, if you will, of bringing it back home. Because let's say that, for example, let's say I wanted to get a wallet in London, and it's only a $35 difference between the States and buying it there. You know, for $35, I'll just get it here, and that way I don't have to worry about having to go to, you know, fill out the paperwork for it or anything like that. So I think that price has a major, you know, checking the exchange rate is a major thing to look at whenever you are thinking about buying anything luxury overseas, because it really makes a difference as to whether or not you want to, if it makes the price any better to get it overseas versus your home country. So some people might think it's tacky. I don't think it's tacky at all. I think it's very savvy, to be honest, because, you know, as I've said before, any time that you can save any money on any luxury goods, why not? Especially if they're already brand new. I understand that you can get, you know, great pricing on pre-loved items, but when we're talking about brand new items, why not? You know, but I do it all the time. So no, I don't think it's tacky. And do I think if you wanted to purchase an item enough, the price shouldn't matter? You know, I kind of go back and forth with this one, because if you're already set on getting something, you already have an idea as to how much it's going to be. But at the same token, if you can save money on it, then it's always just an added bonus, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like if you're going to get a classic flap, you already know it's going to be, you know, $6,000. That's already out of your mind. But if you can save $300-400 on it, $500 on it, why not? So hopefully they answered your question, but no, not tacky at all. Manu Finn, I was wondering what small leather goods from Chanel you would recommend to try out the brand. I would like to eventually invest in a bag, but thought I would start out with an SLG. Great way to go. And for me, it definitely has to go with card holders. And here I have 3 different ones. I have the snap button closure that retails for $450 here in the States, if I'm not mistaken. I know it recently went up. The O-Zip coin purse, maybe, or the O-Zip purse. This one retails for $475 here in the States. And then just the the slim little card holder, and this one retails for $400. I am a big fan of all three of these. I think it's a great way to be able to try out the caviar leather, lambskin leather, or whatever it is, especially because I think that you interact with small leather goods a lot more, obviously, than a handbag. A handbag you just have, you know, on your body, or you know, on your shoulder or whatever. But these guys, you're constantly, you know, dealing with them. You're constantly opening them up, taking them out. So I think that going with an SLG is always the best way to go. But out of these three, I think I use, honestly, this one the most, especially because even though it's super small, it just fits so much. And I rave about it all the time. So I think this one takes the cake for number one. And as far as these two, oh man, I go back and forth. Sometimes I'm crazy about the snap button closure. Sometimes I'm crazy about it being a little bit more open. But I think I end up using this one a little bit more than this one. I think probably because this one's a little bulky. It takes up a little bit more space, especially if you want to go compact. So I would have to say number one, number two, and then number three. But definitely card holders are the best way to go, in my opinion. Or possibly a little O case, kind of like my red lambskin one. That one would also be a great way to go. Plus, it's a really friendlier price tag than dropping, you know, $6,000 on a bag. So. Great question. Okay, Marilyn West. If you were going to get a GM in the Neverfull, would you choose the Carefree but maybe less comfortable treated strap Damier Ben, or the Vachetta leather canvas option? Great question. If I was to go with a GM Neverfull, I would definitely pick comfort over it being Carefree, because like with these guys, with the monogram and the Damier Azur, these tend to get so comfortable. They tend to get very soft, and since the GM is a larger handbag, I feel that it will be a little bit heavier if I was to fill it, you know, more so than the MM. So of course I would definitely go for comfort, but you know, I love the Damier Ben, and I was actually using it last week, and I just think it's a beautiful bag. But the comfort when it comes to using these totes, I mean, is something that definitely cannot be ignored. So I would have to go with the Vachetta straps for sure. All right, next question from Bags of Jewels. I am wondering what you think about leaving your handbags out on display out of their dust bags. I am building my first walk-in closet, and I plan on having shelves for my handbags. They are such gorgeous eye candy. I hate to cover them up with their dust bags. Do you think it will be damaging to have them out in the open? The room is temperature controlled and does not get direct sunlight. What do I think about leaving handbags out in display? I absolutely love it, and I really wish that I can get away with it, but I don't have, you know, I have two large windows that I get quite a bit of sunlight in, so I'm always, you know, I always try to make sure that they're protected in their dust bags. But I love seeing, especially pictures on Instagram with people have all their handbags out on display. It looks so beautiful. But you have perfect conditions. You don't get direct sunlight. It's temperature controlled. I think it'll be perfect. But I think it's awesome. I think it's great, especially because the only thing that I really leave out are my shoes. Actually, I leave everything out in the open except for my handbags in this room. I cover everything, or everything else is pretty much open. But no, I think I'm a huge fan, and I think they look, I mean, it just looks stunning, especially when you walk in and you just have all this eye candy that you can see. Oh, huge fan. Okay, Jamie Lewis Artistry. What do you do with your bag that you are currently rocking when you are at home? Do you keep it in your purse shop, in the dust bag, or do you have it sit in your entryway? Even when a bag is in use, I'd like to make sure I can preserve it as much as possible. Great question. And anytime I'm at home, I always leave my bag in here. It's either going to be sitting on the table behind me or on the chair to my right. It's always in here. I immediately walk in and I set it down in here. I never put it back in its dust bag because I just want something a little bit, you know, easier to just grab and go if I needed to. But I guess you could say I'm a little paranoid of what could happen outside of this room. You never know, right? So I guess in a sense I might baby it that way. But you never know. Edward's running around, or what if I end up spilling something? So I always have it in here. And, you know, like I said before, I could just grab and go, and then I'm out the door. I know a lot of people actually end up putting their bags back in the dust bags just to ensure nothing happens to them if they have them in the entryway, or just maybe on their dining room table or something like that. But no, I just leave it out, but it's out in the open in this room. So Yeah, I just feel that I feel it's a little bit more secure in here, if that makes any sense. I'm trying to shield it as much as I can from anything happening to it. Okay, Grace H. I really want to buy the Chanel flat bag in calfskin and black from the new collection. Unfortunately, they are sold out in Korea. Do you have any recommendations for tracking down a bag, even if it means internationally? I saw it in Hong Kong last week when I was there, but I didn't have enough funds for it yet. It kind of sucks, especially when the bag is seasonal. This is a great question. And I think that the best way to be able to track down an item, especially when it's been sold out where you live, is to use a personal shopper. You can either use one from a department store or an independent personal shopper, but make sure that they're very reliable. And really with either one, you want to make sure that you give them as much detail as possible, because they're going to be your eyes. And a lot of personal shoppers obviously charge a convenience fee, but if you're really crazy about an item, then I really suggest that that would be the best way to go. And that way, you know, there's tons of personal shoppers out there who will really, you know, make sure that they find the exact item that you're looking for with the exact details. And I mean, they'll look at every little nook and cranny. So I would suggest using that type of service in order to be able to find an item that has been sold out where you live, or just in general, something that is not available at all whatsoever, not necessarily sold out. For example, the multicolor pieces are no longer available here in the States, but I know a lot of people overseas still have them. And sometimes people have used, I believe it is not is it Harrods? I could be wrong. Maybe it's Selfridges to be able to find items through a personal shopper. Now, whether or not they charge a fee, a convenience fee for that, I don't know. If you guys have any idea, let me know in the comment section down below, so that way we can help Grace hopefully find that flap bag in black calfskin. But good luck, and that's really the only thing that I can think of. Next question from Z. I finally gotten the courage to start my own blog/channel. Any tips on how to start a blog/Instagram/channel? What are your thoughts on having multiple models of the same handbag in your collection, i.e. 2 Alma BBs in different colors? Okay, so let me start off with your first one. Congratulations, you're going to have a blast doing YouTube. And I think that the best advice that I can give is to be yourself. And it's going to take, you know, it might take some time to be able to find out what type of style of video is the most comfortable. You know, when I look at my first videos, I'm kind of all over the place. And really, I've been on YouTube for almost 3.5 years, and I feel that I'm still like that. I fumble with my words. And, you know, you'll really be able to see what works out for you, because obviously there's so many different styles that you can end up doing, but it all takes time. I wish I was one of those people that I could just start the camera and it's like, oh, it's perfect, no big deal, you know, but it's just, I think it's a wonderful experience. It's so much fun, and you get to connect with so many different people. So I wish you the best of luck and all the success on your channel and on your blog and on your Instagram. But definitely be yourself is, I think, the best and the most, I think the most important key to starting a channel or doing anything, you know, because that way, you know, your true personality can come out. And obviously you guys, you guys know me, I'm kind of all over the place. And the second question, what are your thoughts on having multiple models of the same handbag in your collection, i.e. 2 Alma BBs in different colors? This is a fantastic question, and I actually get asked this quite often. And to me, when it comes to getting the same handbag in different prints, kind of reminds me of lipsticks. Now, bear with me. The reason why I say that is because how many times do we get a lipstick that we absolutely love the brand, we absolutely love the formula, and we end up getting it, let's say maybe in a nude or maybe in a red. Both of those two colors will give you completely different looks. Kind of how I feel with for example, Demi Azur and Demi Ben. They'll definitely give your overall outfit a completely different look than the other print would. So that's why I kind of feel that they're kind of like lipsticks, you know. And I used to have the trifecta of the Speedy, my Speedies, and of course I'm still waiting for my Demi Ben, as I said earlier, but I have the trifecta of the Neverfulls. They are all in the MM size, and I just love them because they just offer so many different looks to what it is that I'm wearing, you know, and it just makes the outfit look completely different than if I was to use a different type of print. So that's why I say that they kind of remind me of lipsticks, and I am all for it. So yes, especially when you find something that you absolutely love, that you're crazy about it, and you just want to have it in all different colors, then yes, I'm a fan. So that's why I compare it to lipsticks. It might be a little random, but that's what I think of. Next question from Samantha Drew. Do you think you will ever go back to working for a company as you did before? Are there jobs that you think are beneath you since you love luxury goods? I sometimes feel silly buying them since I work in fast food and I don't have a career. What are your thoughts? Fantastic, fantastic questions. The first one, do I think I'll ever go back to working for a company as I did before? I don't know, to be honest. And, you know, one of the things that I miss the most about working where I did is that since I'm such a social butterfly, I would interact with anywhere from 150 to 200 people on any given day, so I really do miss that. I think if we were to move, I would definitely end up working. I'd like to work at a big company. That way I can make some new friends, especially if we're moving somewhere where we don't have any family members or any friends. But I really do love being my own boss and setting my own hours and being able to never miss a birthday, never miss an anniversary or a holiday or anything like that. Because as most of you know, I worked in retail and retail hours are all over the place. So, you know, that's something that I have to take into consideration. So I don't know, to be honest. I wish I could answer that question with certainty. Now, your second one, do I think that there's any jobs that are beneath you since you love luxury goods? Not at all. For me, hard work is hard work regardless. And of course, there are jobs out there that are more prestigious because you need higher learning to be able to do them. But at the same time, you know, I've told you guys before that in the very beginning, you know, whenever I was working, I always wanted to get, you know, I saw the Louis Vuitton handbags and I was bitten by the bug so early on, and I was always such a fan, and I never thought in a million years I would ever be able to acquire any pieces whatsoever, you know. And I'm very happy, and I'm very fortunate to have been able to have worked hard and kept at it to be able to have the collection that I have, or to be able to travel to the places that I want to travel. So I will never ever lose sight of that. And when I was younger, I worked in fast food, and I've worked in retail, I've worked in so many different places, and it's not so much as the place that you're working at, it's more so what you take from that job and what you end up learning from that job that really enriches your work ethic, that really, you know, ends up making you see things differently. Because I'll be honest, there are things that I learned when I was working in fast food that I didn't learn when I was working retail, and now I have both of those things that I can now add to my resume that have made me, I think, a better employee and a harder worker, to be honest. So you know, don't feel bad, not at all. It's hard work is hard work, and if you want to reward yourself, that is all that matters. And whether you want to buy yourself an expensive pair of shoes, an expensive handbag, or if you want to take a trip around the world, so be it. Because like I said before, there are a lot of jobs out there that are very prestigious, and I think that's awesome. But there's also, you know, a lot of us who have worked in retail and we've worked in the food service, and there is nothing, absolutely nothing wrong with that, and there's nothing to feel silly about it, and more power to you, because hard work is definitely rewarding. So don't feel bad, not at all. All right, next question from Isabel Ferreira. I have been dreaming about getting the Speedy Bandolier 30 Damier Ben, but I already own a Neverfull GM and the delightful MM in the same print. So I was wondering if the Speedy Bandolier would just be another big bag in Damier Ben. Do you think buying it would be redundant? The mono and the Damier Azur are not really options because I have the 25 mono and I'm afraid of color transfer on the Damier Azur, since this bag rubs a lot against the hip. This is a great question. And do I think that it's redundant? Not at all, because I think that it adds variety to your collection. The Neverfull GM obviously is a tote. It's a fantastic tote. The Delightful is a hobo. So by adding the Speedy Bandolier, you have versatility because you can carry it as a top handle bag or you can carry it crossbody. So again, I think that it adds overall versatility to your collection, and that way you're able to go hands-free if you wanted to. You don't have to worry about having it on your shoulder or on the crook of your arm. You could just use it crossbody. So no, I think it's a great option, and especially when you're crazy about a print. I love Damier Ben, and if you're crazy about a print, you obviously want to have it in as many different pieces that you can. So I think it's a great way to go, because you don't have to worry about vachetta. You don't have to worry about water stains or anything like that. It's very carefree. So I say go for it. I think it is definitely a wise choice. And the last question from Kinza Asgar. Hopefully I said that correctly. So I'm going to be a mama in December and trying to decide on my push present. Congratulations. I already have a regular diaper bag, bag, but I need a small, easy to carry Louis Vuitton bag with the little one coming. It's a girl, by the way. That is so, so cute. Congratulations. I'm so happy for you. What do you suggest? The Alma BB, the Favorite MM, or the Neverfull PM? This is a great, great question. And even though I am a big fan of the Neverfull, I'm not too crazy about the PM because I feel that it's a little bit uncomfortable because of the straps. The straps tend to be a little bit shorter. And if you were to wear a heavier coat or a jacket, I feel that it might be a little bit fussier to be able to put it on your shoulder and not as comfortable versus being able to get the MM that has a little bit more of a generous strap drop. So that's the only reason why I personally wouldn't recommend the PM, but to each their own. Now when it comes to the Favorite or the Alma BB, and I have the Alma BB, so we have a little bit more eye candy. I really do like both. If you want something, if you want a bag that will carry a little bit more but not necessarily be crossbody, then the Alma BB would be a great option. If you wanted something that will carry a little bit less but has a little bit more added versatility, because there are people that are able to use the Favorite crossbody, then I think that I would recommend that one. But either way, I think it would be between the Alma and the Favorite. Of course, I'm a little bit more I'm a little bit you know, crazier about the Alma BB than the Favorites, but I think both of those are great options, and I think both of those two options are actually better than the Neverfull PM. But again, that's just my own opinion, and it's whichever one makes your heart sing the loudest. And congratulations on your little one, and I hope you have an awesome delivery. All right, you guys, so that does it for Minks Monday Q&A. It might end up being a little bit shorter, but obviously there's something going on with my throat, as always, right? But thank you guys so much for all the wonderful questions. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you all tomorrow. And as always, make it a fabulous day or not. The choice is yours. Have a great day, you guys.